Hey guys, I've been waiting on my people to come and I haven't heard from them. That is the reason why I didn't start right away, guys. I apologize. But my folks, I don't know. Ah, my people. That's why I can't wait to the okay. Okay, one person can't. Okay. Then another person says, okay. It looks like we're not gonna have. Oh, there we go. Hold on, I got Mimi. Hey, Mimi.
Hey,
Was
Miss Sylvia.
hey. Um, you're still driving, right?
I'm about to park.
Okay. Um,
What's wrong?
hold on a
My
second.
phone was, my phone had died. I had to buy a charger.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I need to
Okay.
mute myself for a second.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna just cancel tonight, y'all, because I do not have all the folks, and I am not able to read. So, Mimi, I appreciate you, my darling, but it doesn't look like we're gonna do it tonight because everybody else is like can't, and I didn't get a call from other one.
Okay.
Toria, that's not any new. No, they just indicted him. That's all. They didn't add any new charges. It's the same charges from before. It's nothing new. And we're not talking about Nesto. Can y'all please leave the Nesto with Nesto? And this is Diddy. Let's stick with Diddy. Oh my God. Y'all with this Nesto.
Am
Hmm.
I behind stage or am I live?
You're live. You're live.
O- Okay.
But anyway, y'all, we're gonna not do a reading tonight. We're not gonna do a reading because all the other folks are not able to do it.
Come on, y'all. Who wants to read with me?
No, I'm not. No, we're just. I made a decision. We're just gonna postpone it. Well, I know you want to read me, but
I
it
gotta
is.
read. I
It
gotta
is.
read Punisher.
It's 8:42, and it's late. So yeah, I know I got to get up at 4 in the morning. So So I am going to go to bed. Thank you, Toya. I am going to go to bed because I am tired. I am tired. Um, guys, I'm not like easy peasy like the other content creators. They don't have to go as far as I have to go. They're not going to Jersey and going out there, coming back and riding. Y'all see what I do. So when things like this happen, it's a sign for me to go to bed. So I will see. Yes, Dom, I am going to get some rest. See, Mimi been at home relaxing or at work relaxing. Sylvia's been on the road for at least 5 hours today. I did not number on me. Just want to make sure you knew. Leave you a message. I am not at church. Sorry. Get some rest you need. Yeah, I am. I've been at work. She been at work 12. Oh, so you've been at work 12 hours. Sub ought to buy you a hotel. No, no, Dom. You know what the real bloggers live. Get some rest. Yeah, Dom. You know how that is, y'all. I couldn't even get the transcript. They knocked that down. I couldn't even get the money for the transcript, but see, God married it away. I get the transcript anyway now. But you know how it is. You know how it is. I don't sit there. I look. I put my trust in God, and I just talk to God about my troubles and my woes. And I can't do it. God gave you a way to just be there. Amen. That's a blessing. It's up. Amen. Tell me about it, Dom. Oh, hold on a second. We got to talk. Okay, I'm gonna change my title, but I just want to have a conversation. Dom, come on up here come on up. And then I'm gonna get off. I'm not staying more than we're gonna talk about 15 minutes, Dom. Come on up here, Dom. We gotta talk. 15 minutes. 15 minutes conversation we're gonna have. Oh, you covering Little Dirk? Okay, Dom. Okay. Dom said he's covering Little Dirk's trial. And I'm doing Melly. I'm doing Melly in September. I'm doing that one. I'll be going to Florida on that one. I'm going to be staying with my cousin. So I'm going to be doing it. So I'll be covering Melly. But good thing is Melly is televised. So that's the good thing about that one. There you go.
Yo, what's popping?
Oh.
Crazy right now, Sylvia, because you look almost identical to my godmom. Like how your
Really?
hair is and stuff.
Really?
It's wild. Like
With
I'm
my
I'm
hair.
gonna have to send you a picture.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you a picture because it's crazy. You look almost identical
What?
to my godmom. Yeah, yep. It's crazy. Like, cause she has her
Wow.
hair just like she's a little older than you, I think. Ooh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot, but yeah, it's wild. That's why I was just like, yo, that just threw me off right now. Cause I'm looking, I'm like, hold on, bro. So I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna send you a picture, and you're gonna be like, wow, that's
Okay.
crazy. It's
Okay.
almost identical. You guys are almost identical. But
Okay.
yeah, no, what I was saying is that that's a blessing to even be there at that trial because
To
I
be
was
able
just
to
talking
take
to
a full trial. Yeah.
yeah, because I was just talking to my boy earlier today, and he's not into like all that. He's only about like as far as like YouTube and he's only into looking on YouTube and social media and things like that to educate himself. He only wants things that's gonna make him money, things that can help him grow knowledge he doesn't care about entertainment. I be telling him, I'm watching the game. He does not care about basketball, sports, none of that. He does not. He's older than me, but so yeah. So it's funny because he even today we was talking about YouTube because I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting out of what I'm doing. You know what I'd be doing for my job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm trying to get out of that and, start something else. And, but he was like, you got to do what you're passionate about and what draws people, this, that, and the other. And so I was telling him how we had covered when I was doing the Boosie out here. And then I was telling him how you have a page and this, that, and other. And he was like, he brought up the Tisa Tells lady, and he does not watch any of this type of stuff. And I was like, bro, that's crazy that you even knew who this lady was because of the Diddy trial. And he's not paying attention to none of that. And so I just thought like, wow, that people really have reach on YouTube. And this is a guy who does not care about entertainment, nothing. He just goes on YouTube for knowledge and stuff. And literally he came across the Tisa Tells lady, and I was like, that's crazy. And so my point being is that, your audience, you have a lot of reach, people have a lot of reach that you wouldn't know. And not only that, just to be at that trial is like people of all walks of life are at that trial and want to be at that trial, from YouTube to streamers, people who are friends, this news people. I mean, there's so many people outlets there at that trial, because the difference with the R. Kelly trial was it was really only R. Kelly's fans, and he's actually talented. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly's actual talent. Diddy's not talented. He's just savvy businessman and takes no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? So what drew, and then R. Kelly had the minors with the trial, so that turned people off, but his real fans were there. And then also, it was of course some major outlets, but it wasn't really like I have to be at that trial. Diddy is actually like, he crossed all genres of everything. Pop. He's friends with all these actors, big time, everything, politicians, everything. R. Kelly wasn't that way. So it was really only just like a small R&B sector. Diddy is like next level fame wise. You see what I'm saying? And so there's so many people covering that trial that want to be there. And so for you to even be there, I was joking when I said, some of the subs ought to pay for a hotel that's right near the courthouse, or downtown, or 20 minutes away versus 2 hours. And of course I was joking, but like you said, it's just dope that you're even there to cover it, because that's history. I mean, you don't see stuff like this every day.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, but you're right. And it is, everybody from different walks of life is here. And it's been eye-opening. It's been fantastic, and I appreciate it. And now I get the transcripts now too, Dom.
and that's easy,
You breaking up.
because literally I was watching. Yeah,
You breaking up. Your Obama phone is messing up. Your Obama phone is messing up.
1 second. Hold on. I got
Your
AT&T. Is it cleared up now?
Yeah, cleared up.
It's cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's clear. Okay. You can't remember who I was in, but they were just talking about the transcripts and how much it is. What was that?
You stopped clearing up, and then now, okay, I think you're back now.
Okay. Can you hear? Can y'all hear me clear?
Yes, right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just calculating the trial, right? And I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, if the transcripts are X amount per, because I'm just comparing it to like the R. Kelly trial, right? And the R. Kelly trial was like what? How much was it a week? It was like $1,000 a week, right?
It was about 1,000
for the transcripts. It was like 1,000 a week, right? And so if this trial is 8 weeks, 8 to 9 weeks, that's going to be roughly, give or take, $8,000-9,000, $10,000.
It was 10.
And people don't believe it, because people don't believe it if they've never dealt with the transcripts. If you just tell someone on the street, they're going to be like, that sounds like an outrageous amount, but that's not. That's how much transcripts cost. Go to the court, to your local federal courthouse, and try to see how much one page costs. and then multiply that by all the number of testimonies, and then the number of pages, and then the number of days in the trial. That stuff is a lot.
They don't understand it.
Right. They think somebody's trying to scam and this and that, but if you really do the numbers on it, you'll see. I mean, you're not really, there's nothing, it's not like you're charging 40,000 or some great, it's like it's right at the number really. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And it's so crazy because I really don't be seeing, I be busy, but I really don't see your I'm gonna have to start unsubscribing from people because now I rarely see your channel. Like when you be going live and stuff,
Wow.
I hardly ever see it.
Yeah, well, YouTube been doing me dirty lately.
Yeah, they do weird. Like I get notifications from like pages that I haven't even watched in forever. I'm like, yo, I haven't watched this page in I don't know how long. So I started going to because on a lot of pages I put all, when I was really on YouTube heavy, I would put all for the notifications. And so now I have that on so many different channels. So throughout the day, I be getting notifications left and right. And I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to see this or that, or, I'm not really interested in that topic as much, or, whatever. And so, yeah, I had to go and, put it to personalized or whatever. So then they don't remind you every dang time, someone who I'm not really watching like that.
Exactly. Hey, Sunshine.
But I did want to ask you. Oh no, go ahead.
Say go ahead, ask me.
Sorry to cut you off about the Sunshine thing. Y'all know I'm not being rude. That's just how I talk. If you guys don't know who I am, that's just how I talk. That's how I am. It's not being disrespectful or anything. I just cut people off every which way when I'm talking. But yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, what is your experience like how is it being at the trial, like seeing all of just the environment? How has that been for you compared to like the R. Kelly trial?
It's like a rat race. When I say a rat race, is everybody, and it's like cutthroat type of thing that's happening there too.
Okay, how so? Like getting in line, or what do you mean? Like
people are very when I say cutthroat, meaning that people do things that are not right. You know what I mean?
Okay. Like as in reporting wise? What
yeah,
they're reporting, or
some reporting is exaggerated.
okay.
There's some, and then because they want to be inside the courtroom so bad, they'll do some stuff that's like not cool.
I see. Like basically, I don't know. I'm just thinking in my head, and I'm using this as an example. Like, for example, someone would do something like being buddy with the guards, or the stuff like that, to get their spot, to kind of get their name out there, so they remember them, so they can get their spot in the line and get a seat, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was assuming, because it seems like that. I mean, there's outlets from all over. I'm like, yo, this is wild.
And then that whole line holder too, they've been dirty. Okay, for example, line holder is supposed to be 1 for 1, meaning if somebody paid for one line for that one person to stay on line, they pay for it. But then the line holder started being dirty. They getting money underneath the table from people that want to add on, even though they sold one line to that person. They'll stand there and act like they had another person. They get the money. They taking money from the company, and they making money on the side.
What? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
So okay. So let me ask you this, because this is what I was wondering too. Is it every day? So Monday through Friday they have the trial. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is every day a new line, or do they just say, okay, you're remembered, this is your card, or this is your spot, you can just walk in? How does that work?
No, every
Daily.
day. They pay, like the company paid like $600 for that day. Tomorrow they might have to pay $600. Or the next day they might have to pay $600 because they charging them like $80 an hour. And some of them get on that line the night before, like 5 o'clock, and they stay there till the next morning. So they got to pay for that line.
What?
Yes.
People are waiting like that for the trial to be inside?
Yes.
So
See, not now.
so how?
Now
Wow.
they got that bad now because nobody cares. But they were trying to get in and make sure they saw Cassie's testimony and to make sure they get in there to be able to see Diddy. And here's the thing. They're not even looking at it because I know people have been saying, oh, we saw Diddy's face. Come in. Hey, good night. Good. How are you? You feeling better? Oh, good. Thank God. All right. Did you eat?
I'm gonna take off my clothes, wash my hands. Sandra cook some food. I'm gonna eat that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry. What did I get ready to say? I'm sorry.
You were saying about the line cutting, and I was saying daily.
Yeah,
You're saying how
I was saying something. Y'all, come on, help me out. I was saying something that was important.
rewind back, y'all, real quick. Rewind back. Now you were saying something like regarding the payouts the companies are paying. They wanted to see the Cassie trial, the Cassie testimony.
Yeah, they wanted to see Cassie, and then this is what I was about to say. Some content creators were saying that they saw expression on Diddy's face. That's a lie because they only see the back of Diddy's head, y'all. They might see him come in.
How can you know what his face is?
Huh? What did you say? Yeah, what did he just say? What did he just say? What did he just say? Thank you, Stan. What did Dom say? He broke up, y'all. He broke up. I couldn't hear him. He went out. Dom. You know he got his Obama phone, y'all. He got his Obama phone.
No, it's because I'm passing through an area. That's why it's like kind of it's a bad. Yeah, my fault, y'all.
What did you say?
No, I was saying that I can only imagine that, I'm not really dialed in like every day watching it. I watch it, I'll catch stuff here and there. But who I really been listening to, I'm not gonna lie, is the Survivor. I'm sure she shouted you out. Survivor something. White lady, what I'm talking about? That Survivor or something like that.
Witness.
Yes, I've heard her shout you out several times. She always shouts you out. Yep. I like her because she shows the tweets and stuff. Because I don't got time to be going to Twitter and this and that. I can't do all that.
Now, in the city press, he is very reliable, y'all. He tells you exactly what's happening inside the courtroom. Now, but I heard somebody's been like cloning him and acting like it's them, and they started putting out lies, and he had to correct some things.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, today's world there's all type of stuff going on.
But he tells exactly what's happening inside the courtroom. He can't catch everything, but what he catches more, he's almost like 90% on point.
I mean, I don't know how. I was wondering. I was like, how is he catching? Because it's almost like verbatim. I mean, he's given, Cassie said this, then ASUSA or AUSA said this, then Magnifico, whatever said this. It's like, yo, he's basically spot on with the tweets.
He types fast. I mean, he's a professional.
He does. Yeah, he does. I was wondering how he types.
If I was doing it, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm telling you. That's why I like recording. That's why I like having it being able to have my camera and stuff. He is great at what he does. He really is.
He really is. He covered the R. Kelly trial, and he was doing the same thing. Remember?
And that's where I met him in person at the R. Kelly trial. I sat next to him. I was able to, it was easier in Brooklyn, but Manhattan. they don't let you bring a phone in at all.
Yeah, they strict out there. I already knew that was, especially federal. That judge, I hear that judge is strict. Submarinian or whatever. I hear he's strict by the books. I mean, most federal judges are compared to like state, but yeah, I'm like they're running it strict, by the books. And okay, so let me ask you this. So, okay, we're in day what now? Day 6? Day 7?
Mm-hmm.
7. Okay. What do you think? I mean, because day by day, it's kind of like, okay, I think the prosecution is winning, or they have a little head up, or on some sides, I'm like, okay, I think Diddy's team is winning. Where, if you had to convict right now as a juror, what would you convict of? Which charges, or wouldn't you? On all this charge I would, this charge I would not, and why?
Now, as far as the prostitution, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
that's
what I was thinking.
I can see the prostitution, y'all. I can
Me
really,
too.
because
Me too.
okay, they started out, they're doing the dancing and all that, but then they end up having sex,
right?
And you pay for that sex,
right? And you flew them out. You flew them out as well for that.
They didn't fly anybody except one person.
Oh, okay.
The other people live there. They live in New York.
Okay.
This got the Punisher. He lived in New York.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't watch anything from today. I didn't watch that.
And the other guy on Monday, he lived in New York. The only one that was supposedly flown was Jewel. That guy named Jewel.
Right. Okay.
That's the only one that I know of, because he did California, Vegas, and New York.
Right.
The one I kept with Daniel.
Okay. Now, and he's charged with 2 counts, right, of the prostitution. Right.
I think it was 4, right? Wasn't it 4, y'all?
4. Okay, damn.
I think it was 4. If I'm not mistaken, I told the 14 counts of different things, and I think 4 of it is the prostitution. I don't have
okay. So it's like it's falling under the Mann Act or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's literally what they're doing for our court.
As far as sex trafficking, no, I don't see anybody that was sex trafficking.
Okay. Now, do you say that because of Cassie's willingness, and she was like, "Oh, I love this, I want this, and I'm ready to freak off," and all that? Is that the reason why?
To me, they were in a relationship. Yeah, he was awesome again, but then once, because remember, his mom said today that they started having a relationship. She got a record deal. Then him and her started a relationship. Once that relationship was developed, it was not considered a sex traffic to me. It's just Sylvia. I don't know what the law is, but if that's your boyfriend,
right?
How is it trafficking?
You can't force nobody, especially when you're dating. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that person's gonna say no, like, I'm cool, and then you'll see it. Even if you were to show text messages, like, she's literally saying she has her own apartment. You know what I'm saying? She don't live with him. She has her own space. She's texting him on her own free will. And she said she clearly was doing it because she didn't want to lose him. She didn't want to lose this big superstar, famous guy. And I think they're trying to.
Domestic violence, definitely, man. That was not cool what he did. That was not.
No, it wasn't. No, that video definitely is. He was dead wrong for that.
He did numerous times of hurting her.
Right. Right.
Even the pictures they showed with the bruises, her mom took pictures of her and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, why?
Yeah, that's crazy.
In a relationship, why?
Right.
It was making me angry when I saw her, the bruises she had, and then the mom. I mean, this dude's beating up your child. Why you didn't call the police and say, hey, I'm gonna press charges on him? Because
I'm gonna tell you why. Because anytime that would happen, Diddy would allegedly fly them out and give them money. I'm telling you, money doesn't correct everything, but that can definitely make stuff go away. Think about it.
You understand what I'm saying, people? Mothers, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Mothers.
Yeah, any normal mother, a regular mother, should do that. Off the rip.
That would make me so angry that you want to hit my child like that.
Right. But
Oh,
when think about it, think about it, think about it. You're a regular, 9 to 5 working, hard working, mother, and your daughter comes across this guy who's, ends up becoming a billionaire and stuff. And she comes home and she's like, man, we got into a fight, blah, blah, blah. You see my arm, this and that. And you're like, you need to go to the police, right? And then she's like, Mom, no, please don't do that. Blah, blah, I love him, this, that, and the other. She tells Diddy, I'm just using this as an example. She tells Diddy, like, my mom wants to go to the police, this, that, and the other. And he's like, okay, how about this? I give her $50K and, I'll fly you guys to the Bahamas and this, that. Most moms would be like, shit, I'm going to take that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not like the child's not dead or, that's how some mothers would think, though, who are, who don't got it like that. They would be like, shoot, I'll take the 50K. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how people think, which is crazy.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just talking me from my personal experience as a mama bear, y'all. As a mama bear, I've somebody hit my child. I'm ready to go to, you get what I'm saying,
Right.
I told
agree.
you what happened that. No, I ain't even gonna talk about it.
I agree. Yeah, you don't got to bring up personal stuff.
I called the police one time when Dallas and her boyfriend had a little. I couldn't make it over there. What I do? I called 911.
Right.
Somebody get the police over there now, because I don't know what's happening. I don't know how bad I was trying to protect them, and they went off on me after a while because But I'm one of those that did call the police, y'all. I did call the police. I didn't care. I'd rather have them in jail instead of somebody dead. That's the way I feel. Okay.
We'll see. Someone said the funny thing about Cassie said her mother didn't know anything about it. So
see, she did. Well,
she was 22.
But when she found out, y'all, she's the one who took the pictures of her child having all those bruises.
Right. So is that when he gave the 20K? What is the 20K? I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Here's what happened with the 20K, because I was going to do the transcript on that.
I was confused on that.
Okay, what happened is Kathy started dating that guy, right? So Diddy found out. Guy. No, not the Alex guy. The other guy. What's the other guy, y'all?
Oh, the football guy, or Michael B. Jordan?
No, the other guy, y'all. The one that they said that he burned up the guy's car.
Oh, Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi.
Thank you. Okay. Kid Cudi.
Okay.
So he found out that she was dating him, right? That's when he had called the mom and told her, the mom, that basically he paid over $20,000 while he want his money back that he gave her, or whatever he bought her for that $20,000. He wanted it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that $20,000 was for.
So that's what Diddy was telling the mom.
He wanted the money, and so the mom went and got
money back. Okay.
Went and mortgaged the house, or took a line of credit, whatever it was.
And she paid him back.
She paid him back, but then he gave her back the money within 5 days.
He gave her back. Yeah, I figured. Wow.
Yeah, I can see how petty he was.
That's crazy. And see, that's where I'm like, for example, when I was listening to the Don Richard, I mean, I hate to say this. Some people might. I think she's lying. Like I think she's exaggerating stuff because she sees that I was around.
Oh my God, you and that freaking phone of yours, wherever area you in, you're messing up.
I think she was doing that literally for money.
Well, Nicole really tore it in on her. So Nicole,
I don't think she was credible.
Yeah, Nicole made her look really uncredible on that line, on the stand.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you would basically convict him on the prostitution if you had to today.
Nobody. I'm not convicting nobody. Don't be putting me in there.
No. No, I was just saying. No. To be clear for people, the reason why I'm asking that is because you're unbiased. You're an unbiased reporter. You're not on Diddy's side. You're not on Cassie's side. You're just reporting what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just asking, if you had to convict today, what would you do? And that's not saying anything wrong. That's just, what you're seeing in the court. Some days you might feel the opposite. Every day changes when you're looking at different testimonies.
And the reason why he say I don't think sex trafficking is because he's not gaining anything from having putting her saying she's out there making money for him for the sex. That's why not the sex trafficking. Now prostitution, when you purchase it yourself, that I see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see that. And in Vegas, I mean Vegas is the only state that's illegal, right?
That's legal.
Illegal.
I think no, there's I think 2 or 3 states it is legal.
Vegas with that one guy, that one was not legal, but not illegal. But New York is illegal. New York is illegal in California. So those places definitely it would be prostitution to me.
Right.
My opinion, y'all. My opinion.
Damn.
Vegas is the only one.
Oh, okay. I thought there was one other, but
Vegas
that's crazy.
Out there prostituting left and right.
So he basically had to be in Vegas to be doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, but remember, they said it was an experience that was selling.
Right.
Those guys were selling it because they're not doing it. But once they start taking money for it,
right, that's when it's because if those ex workers had got on the stand and said they didn't get paid for it, there would be no charges.
But listen to them, they get immunity because prostitution is that's on both sides, the John and because Diddy and them is considered a John.
Right.
Because they're buying it.
So they would have to get charged too in order for it to be something. Right.
And now they saying, hey, if you come and testify, we will not charge you for prostitution.
Right.
Because it has to be on both sides, the John and the prostitute.
Man, that's crazy. Okay, so were Diddy's kids there today? Like, have they been coming?
No, they're not, because remember the girls are graduating.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
His daughters, they had a prom this weekend and then they graduating this week.
Dang. That's crazy. And he's missing that. He's sick. It's funny. I was like, I know Diddy want to flip that table so bad, especially because how he is. I was like, I know he's pissed looking at some of these people testify or lie or, whatever the case may be. Crazy, man. Crazy.
But
yeah, so
his sister was there.
His sister?
When was his sister there? Who was his sister? I didn't see his sister there.
Who was his sister?
Who said his sister was there?
Diddy's sister?
I didn't see her there.
Oh, I didn't even know he had one. I know his mom. His mom is like super old too. She's like 80 something.
Who's everyone? Inner City said the sister was there. Let me put the link in this.
Who's sister? Diddy's sister?
Let me, hold on.
Trust me, I know. I follow a lot of this stuff.
And ask. Hold on.
He doesn't. Yeah, whoever said that, I want to know because I don't think Diddy has a sister. I'm gonna just be honest, and I pay attention to I know all these hip hop celebrities.
Hold on, I'm sending a message because I didn't see no Diddy sister there. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna text them right now.
Hello. All right, have a good one.
I'm sending messages to 2 people that would know.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna see if their message.
Oh.
Sister name is Keisha. New York Times says she was there, but let me ask his people. Let me find out from his people.
Okay, so you've been networking.
Absolutely.
That's smart, Sylvia, because that's next. See,
Hold on, I'm getting the intel right now. Hold on.
yeah, because I'm like, Diddy is like, yo, he has like money, like he has outlets for so many different outlets. I mean, he owned Revolt TV, literally the cable network, and that's all like black media type stuff going on that channel still to this day. You know, he had to sell it and all his portion and all that. It's probably still in his family, but that's all him, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's a Rico. I mean, it's still a lot left to go.
It says she has not been there since pre-trial. I just got the message. She has not been there since pre-trial.
See? So whoever said that,
I can't let y'all see
that's
the
cap.
name. It said she has not been there since pre-trial. I see the message.
Everybody isn't lying on him.
You see that? It says she hasn't been there since pre-trial. That's what they said.
I mean, pretty chick, yeah.
So, no, she hasn't been there. I didn't see her, so I don't know who's saying it.
They said that today. I don't know why Diddy's attorney didn't argue.
Trust me,
Statute of limitations.
I guarantee you, the publicist would have told me if she was there.
Media reported it. What the hell? Yeah, I gotta go look. Today I haven't followed.
They said she was there during pre-trial.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Miss Janice. No, she's over 80. Pretty chick. She's like 83 or something crazy. So she must have had Diddy at like 35 or something like that. Or 30, excuse me. Yeah, she's like 80 something. Yep. And she's like frail too. Like, you know, you can tell she's older. She looked good for her age, but you know.
She look good now. She looks
She
good.
does. She definitely does. But she, you know, when you rich, that changes a lot. Rico has no statute. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, I don't think there's a statute of limitation on federal, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know that for sure, but I think.
Y'all gotta remember, New York Times people are the people that's sitting right there in the courtroom with me. So.
Right. No, I know. Yeah, you definitely.
And some of the time they don't even know who's who because they be asking me, who's that? Who's this person? I'm like, y'all don't know? And then one of them was like, thank you for letting me know. I'm like, what? Y'all wasn't supposed to be knowing more than me. They had to ask me who Westmoreland was. Y'all saw me showing them Westmoreland that day.
Yeah. Has 2 kids. Oh, okay. So he has a half sister. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I don't ever remember him. I thought on an interview, I thought he said he was the only.
Look, Khadijah was there. They don't be knowing. Khadijah's my proof.
85. Damn.
They don't be knowing. Khadijah's right there. She was there. They don't be knowing. They'll be like, who's that? And then one of them was like, Sylvia, thank you. I did not know that was that person.
That's crazy.
Oh God.
That's hilarious. See how people misinform.
Because trust me, I that's why I was like, she was there. I didn't know she was there. The family hasn't been there. The whole seat's been empty, y'all. Where the family sits, it's been empty. And that's why we're trying to get them to let us in, because we're
Oh,
like,
to take up the spots, right? You're like, shoot, let's take
yeah.
up the spots.
We're like,
So
this
they're
is
not. So
fair.
they pretty much just have to leave it open, huh, in case the family
Yeah, because
does
that's
come.
how come I know I ain't see no family there. Because I'm looking at the video thing. I'm looking right there. Uh, everything is like 3 rows is empty. I'm like, and then when I saw they let 4 Caucasian kids in, I'm like, okay, why they let them in? Then I found out they're people that belongs to the prosecution, that they had that, I guess, I don't know if it's their kids or interns or whatever. They came in and sat in those seat in one of those rows. So I was like, why we
How old are
can't
these
go
kids you talking about? Talking about some intern.
I mean, they look like they were
That's
teenagers
crazy.
they let in. They look like it was teenagers they let in. Because I was like, why they
Hmm.
let them in?
Wait, so you guys pretty much have to watch from the overflow room? You're not actually in the court.
That's where I've been. I only been in the room. I haven't been in that room since the trial started. I've been in overflow because each time I tried the
But
first
why
day,
is
done,
that though?
because it's so many with so many news people. Now it's like it's not that
Oh,
many
okay, like
anymore.
official news.
Yeah, but look,
There's just a lot
listen.
of official news outlets.
Yeah, right now I really don't care because they were like, Sylvia, the deputy was like, you've been complaining about getting in, and now all of a sudden you have room and you don't want to go in. I was like, I'm not interested anymore. They were getting on me
Right now, y'all
today.
want to come back when it's
I was like, I don't care. And listen, in the main room, you can't talk, you can't do nothing. They so strict, you can't chew gum, you can't do anything. So in the overflow, folks be laughing and making all kinds of jokes and stuff in there. So I'm like, I'm going where the people at. Where you could talk, you could eat, you could do all that. Well, you were really not supposed to eat, but people be sneaking and eating in those rooms.
you got to shoot.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Wow.
look, and then you can go in and out, in and out, in and out. In that main courtroom, they're so strict. But you know what? One day I'm gonna get in there for y'all, so I can see, so I can tell you how it feel since trial has started. I know how it felt that one day when trial wasn't going on, but since trial started, I haven't been in that room. Nope, not yet. But they put a big TV in the overflow room now. It's a big TV in there. Yeah, look, Khadijah was in there. See, Khadijah and I
Wow.
was in the overflow. We're all in the overflow. We're like, but in the main court,
How many
church,
people? How many people? How many people does the overflow hold? Like 20,
a
30?
lot, a lot, over 100 and something.
Oh shoot. Okay. Dang.
And they got two
That's
overflow
crazy.
rooms. They got two overflow rooms, so it's no big deal.
Oh yeah, you definitely, yeah. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter if you're actually inside, as long as you're in the overflow. I think that's enough information to really write down. And you could have your phone in the overflow too, right?
No, you can't have your phone at all in that courtroom at all.
Not even
But
in.
look,
That's
look,
crazy.
and it's nothing like when it was YSL. YSL with everybody, they could look at us and we could make faces and stuff. Diddy, the only thing they see is the back of his head. That's all they
Right.
see. They don't see nothing from it unless he happened to turn around and
Right. He would
the
have to
guard,
full
yeah,
turn around.
and the guard sitting right behind him. So if they're gonna tell him turn around, what he's looking back here for,
Mm-hmm.
He only
Wow.
when he comes in, he was making hearts to his family and stuff like that, and the people that's there. Hold on a second, Melissa called me. Hold on. Hello.
Okay, Khadijah, what is your thoughts if you had to convict today, just from based on the testimony, the prosecution and the defense? What would you, if you had to, would you do not guilty on all charges, on a select charge, and why? Like, from because you're there. I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. So I mean, what would you say? It's crazy, man. It's just crazy. Literally just 2 years ago, 2025. Yeah, less than 2 years ago. Diddy got the keys to the city. He became a billionaire and was, driving through the streets of New York, hanging out the window and all this. I'm like, yo, that quick. Crazy, man. How stuff can change for you in the blink of an eye. Oh,
Sorry,
okay. I was only in court one day. Okay.
but what the people say, all they need is one person to say not guilty. So
Right.
that's what.
And remember, it's similar to the R. Kelly with the remember they had to say, I think it was 3 different things you had to say that he's guilty in order to convict on the racketeering. Remember?
Yeah.
And so,
But you remember, this is just the beginning. So they
right,
got.
this is just early. Yes, early on. I got to see the whole thing because remember, even with the R. Kelly thing, it was like there was multiple like alleged victims or whatever. This is only Cassie.
Yeah,
Everyone else is just a witness,
Yeah,
so it's kind of weird how
and
there's
then
no one else charged. I don't know.
yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't understand that aspect of it.
Yeah.
He sued that liquor company that made him a billionaire. Well, yeah. I think personally, I've been said it. I said Diddy should not have sued that company because even it doesn't matter if you think, you should be getting more. You were getting literally 100 million a year as your royalty. And
Yeah,
you became a billionaire.
supposed to be Diddy's sister, but
Right.
I didn't see this
Let me
woman.
see.
I didn't see her.
Okay.
I did not see her there today.
She looks familiar. I guess she kind of looks familiar, but she's probably behind the scenes, because I pay attention to like all that hip hop stuff. I've never seen her before. As
No,
far
but
as
I
like,
haven't seen her sitting in the courtroom today. I didn't see her, so I don't know what they're talking about.
maybe she was outside or something. I don't know.
Okay, man, but they would have put her in the sprinter or something. They would have came in like.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? It could be one of them situations. Remember when Bruce and them used to come up there? I mean, of
But
course,
everybody knew
Diddy
Bruce.
has money. Well, yeah, of course, and Diddy has money, so it's different. But I mean, not necessarily. It's not like it's his kids or they're pulling up in the Suburban and whatever.
When R. Kelly
But
brother came in there, they knew the brother.
yeah, no, for sure, they definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
People definitely knew who his brother was. I mean, I guess it's just different circumstances, different situation, but wow. So have you met any notable people?
That guy came. Gene Deal was there.
Okay, you met him.
I saw him. I didn't meet him.
Okay, he has like a YouTube channel now too. It was funny. I was scrolling yesterday or the day before, and he was live streaming. He had like 2,000 in his chat. I was like, boy, he's milking this stuff.
Yes, it ends at 3:00 every day now, y'all. Every day.
That's actually better though, because then you have the rest of your day.
Yep, I like it.
Because remember, with the YSL, it was kind of all over the place. Diddy is not
R. Kelly case
Eh.
was in New York and Chicago. Yeah, two separate cases.
I can't judge nobody off what they. I'm gonna just say, I do remember Diddy saying, "There's a video. I'm sure you can go on YouTube," and he was like, when they had first arrested R. Kelly or whatever. I remember him saying, "R. Kelly will be played in my house. I'm not gonna stop listening to no R. Kelly," and it was like Bump and Grind or something playing in the background. And when you look at, there's some similarities as far as sitting in the corner and watching and all that type of stuff. They were saying R. Kelly was doing that. I mean, everybody is into their own thing, so I'm not gonna judge. Now,
Let me tell y'all
beating up a woman, I can't go with that. That's
That
crazy.
that was funny. When his assistant had hit that girl, he goes and tell the assistant, we don't hit women. I'm like, everybody in the
Right.
whole courtroom started laughing because I'm like, oh, wait a minute, hold up, dude.
How you gonna tell? Right. How you gonna say not to hit women, but you on video beating up on them? Yeah, that is crazy.
We don't hit women. We don't hit women. You apologize to her and buy her something. That's what he told her. I was like, wait, hold up. This is the same one been beating up this girl all this time. You don't hit women? What?
No, he been had a.
Oh yeah, somebody sent it to me. Key, black and brown missing voice. Yeah, somebody just sent it to me. Thank you. They just sent it to me. Somebody just sent it to me. But remember, these same
Sent you
people,
what?
they sitting right next to me. Half of them don't know who's who. Okay, because they're not like us.
Right.
They don't know.
Right. Sylvia's
like
big
us.
time.
No, I'm not big time. It's just that, you get to learn people, you talk to them, you find out, instead of them speculating. They probably seen her one, like pre-trial when she was coming there all the time, but now she's not. That row, unless they sat someplace in another overflow, they weren't inside the courtroom, inside the main courtroom, because they were not there. Unless, I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you, I didn't see them, and then I just text the
Right.
people.
I mean, there's different. There's so much going on, Sylvia. I mean, you can't see everything. I feel
No,
like daily.
I'm gonna say I did not see them. I don't know.
Right.
That's why I went and texted the people that would know, and they said no, that she hasn't been there since pre-trial. That's what they
Right.
told me. So
Wow. Sunshine, no, yeah, well, yeah, he had a trial in Chicago and in New York. He had two of them.
yeah, and I
And
did both
Sylvia
of them.
covered, yeah, Sylvia covered both. If you scroll back or go to her popular or whatever, that was when she really, got to this trial stuff. But no, Sylvia, that's what I wanted to
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My throat is itchy.
know. This Dirk trial, once it starts, I might have to cover that. The Dirk trial. So I was like, I might just have to
I think you should.
see what's popping.
I think you should.
Yeah, because it's federal. So, cameras can't be inside of the courtroom on federal. So I was thinking about doing that.
I think you should.
Guilty of both. Yeah, he found guilty. Yeah, he was found guilty. Yeah, I really was thinking. Yeah,
Check
the
out.
mainstream, and it's crazy because what's interesting to me too, Sylvia, is that what I noticed about the difference too between Diddy and the R. Kelly is the mainstream. A lot of mainstream media are actually like siding with Diddy on certain things.
Yeah.
With R. Kelly, they were not doing that. No media outlet was. They were like, nope, he's the worst. He's this. They've been knowing about 30 years. Da da da. Diddy, there's actually mainstream outlets that like support him, which is crazy because I didn't think that would happen. But
Hold
there's
on.
a lot of people that rock with him.
Let me show you today. I was listening to a news thing, and they were saying that he's not going to be found guilty. Hold on, I'm telling you, a news person.
See,
they were siding with him. I'm gonna show you.
Yep. And I just don't know. Like even the Breakfast Club girl, Lauren LaRose, she's like at the trial too. She's like every time I listen to her, she's always like siding with Diddy. Like she's always like
she got on him today.
Well, yeah. So that must have been the first time. But from the first few days when I was watching her, she's always like puff this, blah blah blah. She's always like it seems like she's leaning towards his side. Now I don't know what it is today. I didn't watch today or yesterday, but prior to that, she was like siding with him. And she has a right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own opinions on. So I mean, I can't fault nobody for saying they want him not guilty or guilty. Because it's everybody has their own take on things or not knowing the whole facts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, if this is only week 1, he probably will be found guilty on certain things for sure. But it's really up to jurors. I mean, what are the jurors like? You can't see the jurors, right?
Yes, you can.
What are
saw
their
the.
expressions? What
Oh,
do they be
I'm not in the courtroom
looking
to see
like?
their expression, but from where the jurors that I've seen, older men.
Oh, okay.
I can give you the makeup. You want me to give you the makeup of the jurors?
It's like
Hold on.
old white man.
No,
I
There's
like
8
old
black
white
guys.
man.
There's 8 black guys.
8 black guys. Okay. Hey, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. He could be found not guilty. I'm gonna just be honest. And I think that's probably, as like from what I've been watching as a defense attorney, they're saying that in his situation, his defense would probably want men.
Hold on, let me show y'all what they saying. Hold on. I got this guy.
Because they can be more understanding in that type of situation, I guess, versus
I'm gonna show
a
y'all
woman.
this. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what these guys saying. Hold on.
North media, I respect your opinion. You know, I mean, he definitely was wild for that.
Hold on.
I think you both completely disagree here. Matthew, let me start with you. You think
Piers
this
Morgan, I love his
case of Diddy being railroaded and that the case is almost borderline farcical. Why do you say that?
Well, good morning. I can tell you why it's farcical to me is this idea of this mythical creature that can take ketamine and MDA and booze and then have sex for dozens of days on
That
end,
is crazy.
hours and hours. That from a pharmacological standpoint, that's not possible. This idea that Cassie waits 10, 12 years to file a lawsuit and writes a book and then doesn't turn it over to a general publishing group, but sends it to Jay-Z's lawyer and says, by the way, we're going to put this out unless you pay us millions of dollars, bespeaks the real motives behind this. And let me just say this. Puff is not a good person. He's a bad woman beater and he's a coward. I know the guy. Everybody I know agrees with that. But this is not a case about domestic violence. You can talk about trauma bonding and any other psychological terms you want to lay on there. But the idea that Cassie had her own apartment, had her own money, had her own extra boyfriends or anything else does not speak to me as a traditional victim that we would see in a case of spousal abuse where this is ongoing. And I'll tell you this, when the prosecution told everyone that P. Diddy urinated in her mouth, that was shocking. When Daniel Phillip comes on and says, no, actually the person who urinated told me to urinate in her mouth was Cassie. And not only did she tell me that, she gave a tutorial and said, you want to do it slowly to make it last longer. At that point in time, the old adage is you can't win a trial with the first witness, but you can sure lose a trial. That lost me. Because what you're talking about now is an allegation that this, and I'm going to use its Mandingo stereotype of this crazed black man who's being prosecuted by 5 white women who are saying this man's sexual needs are insatiable and they can have sex for hours and hours and never rest and always ejaculate. That's not true from a pharmacological standpoint. That is absurd. If this was in the 60s or 70s in Mississippi, I think people would be irate. I don't like Sean Combs. That video speaks for itself. The question is, why wasn't he prosecuted for that? The question is, why wasn't he prosecuted for all of these crimes that have allegedly occurred, but we save it all up and we bring it in this case? And to Mr. Busby's point, this idea that the federal government does no wrong in prosecuting people, you know, it's kind of ironic that a Comey is on this case and a Comey also, you know, and he doesn't need my advice, but they told us that President Trump was a spy for Russia too. And that was complete BS. And we know that was. And so this idea and concept that the government does no wrong, federal government does no wrong in bringing cases, I don't think it's true. This is not a strong case. This is a case that if they prosecute it or defend it correctly, and you point out the idea that Cassie says Combs raped her, and then she went back to his house sometime later and were having sex, and then her husband FaceTimed her, and she can't remember if she was actually had that man's genitals in her while she was FaceTiming her husband. That's not believable. It's not believable to me. No one would believe that. And it's just part of a long line of, as Busby says, these are bricks. A brick is not a wall, but a brick hits you in the head. A brick still hits you in the head. And like when Cassie says, Combs and his bodyguard went to shoot and kill Suge Knight. That's absurd. Combs is terrified of Suge Knight, terrified, has been terrified of him for decades, going back to a shooting that happened in Atlanta. Combs is not a tough guy. He's not going to jump in a car and go kill Suge Knight in Los Angeles. That's almost laughable. But there's multiple aspects of this case that when you look at factually and practically, it really brings to question, why are we here prosecuting, what was the old adage, sex, drugs, and rock and roll? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm not silly enough to think that there aren't many people who've engaged in sex with rock and roll stars or movie stars, and use sex and use drugs. Those are never prosecuted.
Okay.
And Cassie says, I paid.
Yeah, no, listen, I just wanted to bring in, Ben has been listening to all that because it was fascinating. I got to say, the way you talked through all that. Ben, you don't agree. You think Diddy's going down. Why are you certain of that?
Well, I think my colleague makes some excellent points, and obviously this is going to be a very long trial, so there's much to still unfold. I think the purpose of opening with Cassie, of course, is the video, and the video certainly prepares the jury to conclude that he is capable of committing the crimes for which he's ultimately charged. The problem I had with the cross-examination of Cassie Ventura is this isn't a he said, she said case. There are going to be 3 other women and maybe even another male alleged victim who are going to tell a similar story. One of the second witness has already corroborated another alleged beating of Cassie Ventura. So that's the problem. And I think the government will have, it's not that the government can do no wrong. Obviously, we have seen it do wrong in some cases. But I think the point is that the government would not have brought this indictment if it did not have evidence.
Right. I mean, the track record of the federal government in cases like this is almost, it's inevitable that he goes down. It's like 99% hit rate, right? But they do occasionally get it wrong. But most of the time, if the feds bring a case like this, they win. I mean, isn't that the likelihood here, just on stats alone?
100%. I mean, the prosecution conviction rate of the federal government is in 99 percentiles, greater than the odds of being convicted if you're in Russia. Doesn't change the facts that in each case, that sometimes you get defense attorneys who know what they're doing and know how to fight it and understand it and take them on. And in this case, what the prosecution is doing is saying that's a bad, mean, violent guy. Look at all of the bad things he does. And they're playing to the stereotype, and they're doing it covertly, but it's fairly obvious to those of us of a certain persuasion that you're arguing that this is a sex-crazed black man who has to get his craven desires administered to on a daily basis. So they set up an entire record company for the purposes of being able to entice Cassie Ventura into having sex. That's baloney, but that's what they're doing. And they can bring on multiple people they've had sex with. And all they're proving is, you know what, there's a secret. There's sex workers in the world, and there's people who frequent sex workers, but that doesn't really go to the issue. This is a RICO prosecution that was ideally brought to take down the mafia. Sean Diddy Combs is a guy who's a woman beater, and they should have prosecuted him for it. And there's no question about it. But you're telling me with a straight face, this is a human slave tract, white slave act case? There's no one who was brought here against their will. Cassie had every choice she wanted to make. They talk about Kid Cudi. Go be with him. Talk about Michael B. Jordan. You know, the reality is this was an incredibly attractive woman, and she was in great demand and had many opportunities to have people. She chose that lifestyle, and I'm not in any way.
Well, as we're talking, actually, Matthew, I want to bring Ben back here because Dawn Richard, the Danity Kane singer, has been on the stand today and recalled an incident in 2009 where she witnessed Diddy hit Ventura with a skillet and then allegedly threatened both Richard and Ventura. Richard testified, he said, "You could go missing, that we could die. I was shocked, but also scared." She said she saw Combs carrying a handgun. She said Combs' bodyguards had guns too, keeping them on their lower back. I mean, to Matthew's point, Ben, I mean, he's obviously a very bad guy. He's obviously a woman beater. We've seen that with the video. He likes guns. He likes to threaten people, all of these things. But in terms of what the feds have actually gone after him for, racketeering, sex trafficking, and so on, Matthew makes a good point. This was set up for the mafia. This was the kind of stuff that when Rudy Giuliani tried to go after the mob, this is how they did it. And some people do think that they've just overreached in what they're going for him for on this. And for that reason alone, a jury might be persuaded to acquit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Matthew and you both make excellent points, and that may be what ultimately happens. But we're at the beginning of a very long trial. And one of the things, as Matthew knows, is if you're a prosecution or if you're just putting on any kind of case, you want to keep the jury interested. So there'll be sensational testimony, as we've begun with sensational testimony that prepares the jury for the idea that maybe this isn't a good guy. And there's going to be some technical testimony going through the elements of the crimes for which he is charged. Now, if that's not there, if they don't have the receipts, there could be an acquittal and there could be an overreaching. But I think the prosecution is still very early on in its case. So I think we have to wait and see.
And Ben, do you see
There's
any
something very interesting?
Sorry, just one sec, Matthew. I'll go back to you. But Ben, just to bring in, when you were on the Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard case, do you see any parallels here? In particular, perhaps how a jury might be moved by what they hear?
Well, I think these are very different cases. That was Mr. Depp's case, civil case for defamation. So I don't see the parallel so much here.
But in terms of how a jury can be not manipulated, but perhaps led down certain thought processes, do you I mean, star power cannot be ignored, I think, in these cases.
No, I think that's right. And that's why I think you have to, in other words, if you're representing Diddy, you're going to have to counter that. And you're going to have to, I think he's going to have to testify as a practical matter. Criminal defendants usually don't. But I think with the video and the other testimony, I think he's going to have to come out and counter the narrative and be penitent for that, even if that's not what he's being tried for. I think he needs to put that before the jury.
Yeah, and Matthew, finally, to you on that point, would you, if you were advising Diddy, would you tell him to testify?
Diddy's horrible in cross-examination. When he was working with Johnny Cochran back in his original case and shooting, he comes off horrendously. And one quick point I want to make, if I may, this issue of consent and coercion, and the judge made a very big ruling last week when he agreed that they are going to show the videos or some of the videos. And I've been told that Cassie is either a tremendous actress or she's actually having climaxes or orgasms. It's the when Harry met Sally argument. If that woman literally is on video having sex freely, and if what I've been told is true, that makes a real big issue as to whether or not this was coerced. It's a bad situation in retrospect, and she may be a wonderful witness today. And similar to Amber Heard, from what I've been told, she turns to the jury and speaks to them, which jurors hate. And prosecutors and lawyers always make the mistake of, now turn to the jury and talk to them. It's not natural. And so I see the similarities in that context. But this whole idea and concept that we're going to go back and Monday morning quarterback a person's sex scenes is open. Certainly leaves open the question that she enjoyed certain portions of it, and then that really goes to the heart of the case. If part was consensual, they have to go down on it. But my understanding is no way, to answer your point, that Diddy's testifying. And the more they play that video, it kind of works in the favor of the defense because the jurors get desensitized to it. It's horrendous. It's bad. In Suge Knight's case, we played the video over and over of the young man being ran over by the car, because after a while, it's just making sausage. It's shocking when you first see it, but when you work there, it's not that bad. But, you know, unless something changes drastically, my understanding is Diddy would come off horribly, in my opinion.
Fascinating. I've got to leave it there. Matthew, Ben, both, thank you very much indeed. We've got a long way to run with this, so I hope to get you both back on again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do y'all think about what they said? Dom? 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 Dom!
Hold up. Hold on. 1 second. One second.
I agree about being desensitized with that video. Because after a while, when you keep watching it, it's like, okay, it's not shocker anymore. Because I started reviewing it, and I was like, oh, he kicked her with socks on. He did this. I was like, well, he's standing there right now. He's not hitting her right anymore. He only hit her. You know, I started looking at it that way.
Okay, so my thing is I definitely I definitely agree with what that guy was saying as far as the playing the video over and over. She also is a willing participant. Also, it's another thing, like he was saying, if she's on video sitting there enjoying the sex, it's like, how could you say that that's forced or coerced? Someone who's not enjoying it or felt like they were coerced, or they're going to be from the very beginning, I don't want to do this. No, you know, they're going to have facial expressions. They're not going to be enjoying it. You can tell if somebody's not enjoying it.
But
You
even
know?
the guy today said that she moved closer to him for him to continue and for him to put it in.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, I think she really did like it, but what he was doing to her was certain things was obviously not okay and illegal. But I think she enjoyed, like, I'm gonna just be honest, she enjoyed that lifestyle, you know, being in that. I mean,
And why did she have to say that was her husband?
oh, that's a good point too. That's another thing. Think about it. They were basically painting the picture that she was having sex with Diddy while she FaceTimed the husband, right?
No. I'm talking about why did they, whenever they ordered those dances and stuff, they always said that her husband, she was celebrating this, and her husband wanted like to watch.
Oh, right. See, that's what I'm saying. It's just all weird. I mean, like I said, I personally need to see more, and it's only week 1, but I definitely need to see a lot more for that to be fair, you know. I mean, that's oh, That's another good. That was another thing. I agree with what he was saying from the perspective of, um, you know, Diddy or Cassie filing this lawsuit and demanding money, saying she was going to write a book, but didn't, go to the authorities or any of this. It's just kind of like, it seems like the motive was the money from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, from her perspective, she did it the right way because she got paid, and then that was it. And she got paid from the hotel, so she just got $30 million. Like, she's good. And I
So,
personally think it was the
so don't
husband
you
who
think she
pushed that.
deserved the money? Don't you think she deserved the money?
I think she should have got more.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I think she should have got 100 million. He's worth $1 billion. Why would you sue him for 20 million? That's nothing. Nobody wants to just give up $20 million. I don't care how rich you are. That's still a lot of money, no matter how rich you are. Unless you're Elon Musk rich. 20 million that's still a lot of money to anybody. You see what I'm saying? So I think she should have sued for 100. But what's being reported is that Diddy had known about this book stuff for 6 months, and he just didn't want to pay because it's his money, and he has an ego and all this. I guarantee you, if he could redo that, he would have paid that the moment she said anything about a book. You know what I'm saying? Because then there would have never been she would have never filed a lawsuit, which would have never been went public. Does that make sense? So if Diddy would have just paid her behind the scenes, there would have never been no civil lawsuit. And then that just exposes all your business. And then that's when the feds say, okay, nah, we're going to have to step in. And then if they subpoena videos and all that, they're going to get that. They're the feds. So it's like, I mean, if he could have redone it, if I was his advice, I would have said, bro, settle that. Like, she's trying to write a book on all of your information. You were with her for 10 years, bro. Like, you weren't with her for a month. You were with her for 10 years. Like, there's going to be damaging stuff. I would have just settled it, and you got the money. It's not like you don't got, bro, you're a billionaire. You could have paid that the moment she even thought about writing a book. It doesn't matter how mad you are, or, I don't want to give up this money, or you're going to get that back anyway. You know what I'm saying? 20 million and you're a billionaire. That's nothing.
Well, he losing more now with
Well,
attorney
yeah,
fees.
exactly. And now he's losing more because now he has to pay for attorneys and all. He's probably paying, I mean, at least a few million in attorney fees, at least. Probably even more than that, honestly. I would say at least
All
a
his
few
attorneys.
million.
He just added another one recently too.
Right. They charging, and you facing life on federal. Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, you're paying, and you have like what 8, 9 attorneys. You're paying at least 5, 6 million probably minimum.
Okay, somebody asked me, am I answering questions on Diddy stuff? Yeah, question on Diddy stuff, nothing else. So what's the question?
North Media, I don't know if I agree with that. She was high on drugs during the freak off, so of course she enjoyed it. That's what the drugs are for. I mean, nah, I don't, I don't believe that. I just think it's well, yeah, like it's to make the experience better, or for like a dude probably to last longer. You know what I'm saying? All them type of drugs I don't know. I've never heard I've never heard of anybody taking ketamine. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, yo, they must have just been trying to get any type of drug. They naming, what was it? Idocaine, or I'm like, I've never heard of that. Like, some of these drugs I've never heard of. And I'm like, yo, they're taking that just like horse tranquilizers. Like, how does that make you feel good? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay, she asking a question about R. Kelly. What's going on? What's her question? Let's see. Read that because I can't see my
Had a
glasses.
question about R. Kelly. Have you heard from him? Can the general public reach out to him by mail? You could definitely reach out by mail.
Yeah, you can reach out to him. Just go to BOP.com, BOP.gov, sorry,
Type in his name or
BOP.gov, and then just type up his name, and then they'll tell you where he's at and tell you how to write to him. and make sure you put his inmate number. GOP.gov.
Right. Hey, Clifton, bro, I said the same thing, bro. I'm like, hold on. Like,
Well,
bro,
Clifton,
that just sounds crazy. Like, for days, like, yo.
have I
And I'm
heard
I'm
from him? No,
younger.
I have not heard from R. Kelly. No, I
Yo,
haven't heard
have
from
you
him.
heard from? Yeah. I mean, he
No.
probably just living his life, trying to, day by day. I'm sure I'm sure he still reaches out, like, writes fans, and, that probably makes his days go by. I'm sure he has thousands of fans writing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I haven't written him in God knows when.
Right. Are administered in a hospital setting, so they aren't necessarily street drugs that he's getting. I mean, yeah, I don't know how he was getting. I mean, he was saying he had dealers. She was saying he had dealers. He was telling the dealers not to deal with her. I don't know where, how he was getting all that stuff, but
When you have money, you can get all kinds of stuff. Remember you said
yeah.
that?
Well, yeah, and it's not even his money. It's he's famous. He's a celebrity. He's in the hip hop. He can get it from. He knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? He literally knows everybody. He can get the purest of the purest of whatever. Just like they were saying, oh, the baby oil, it was laced with this and that, and then Cassie got on the thing and was like, it was not laced. It was just baby oil.
Hey, I am what's her name? I am Deja Hair. Well, make sure when you write him, put your phone number in there. He might call you. Put your phone number in there, and call him. Write him a couple of times. He may not respond right away because he's probably trying to decipher who's who. But if he
Right,
sees your letter often, he'll write you back.
right. I think he will, because I remember when we would always be, when we were covering it, he would actually always write people back. R. Kelly
Yeah.
would always write people, sometimes call. I mean, and this was, a few years back, but I'm sure he's still doing it to a lesser degree or whatever. But I'm sure he's definitely still doing that. So if you're interested in that, I'm sure he would probably give you a shot at responding or whatever.
Yeah, he'll respond most likely.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No. Black and brown missing voices. LMAO. MDMA is a component of X, which is ecstasy. It was popular in ketamine and MDMA. Now it's basically American-made pink cocoa. Yeah. No. MDMA is basically ecstasy
Sir,
has a
stop talking
mixture.
about that stuff on my line.
Okay, well, yeah, the M is just a mixture, or is the X portion is like a mixture, and I guess that's it's a party drug. It makes you feel good, it makes
Sir,
your
could you
body.
please stop talking about that stuff on my thing?
Okay,
Tell him to go Google it.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Knew better. He been in trouble for that stuff. Yeah, definitely didn't have a church. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Demetria
I should
Walker,
have gone to bed a long time ago, and I'm getting sleepy.
right? She's right there.
You know Dom is long-winded, y'all.
Right, Demetria, I agree. Okay, well, yeah, you can get your rest, Sylvia. Go ahead. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about that.
I gotta change my title.
He could get, he could get whatever you want. Right. He was brainwashed. He was close. Covering his
How
trial.
many kids do Diddy got? 7, right?
Yeah, he has a lot. Who on can't pay her child, but she ended up dead. Yeah, they did say that. You can't pay her out. It's crazy. These things money paying us. Man, Kelly can't read her back.
No, somebody said she was under 21. She started dating Diddy. No, she wasn't.
That's what. Yeah, she was 22.
21. 22. Sorry, when he first
Yeah,
started. So she was
22 to
dating the other
32.
guy at 19. He was dating the other guy.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right, y'all.
No, it's crazy. But,
Okay, y'all.
all right,
Don,
Sylvia.
thank you so much. Make sure you come back on live with me again. I like this
I will.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. It's just I don't be on YouTube like that, so it's like when I see your notifications, I'll be like, yo, it's usually at night when I'm like I'm finishing my day type stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to see. So you be going in and out of the courtroom, or
Yeah, I'm gonna
how do
start
you?
doing the I'm gonna start coming out more often. I was coming out. I get more views coming out doing a little live clip and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm Sylvia. If you go in and you come out and you say, oh, this is what I heard. Give a brief recap, the last 30 minutes or whatever. I think people will enjoy it because it's like live updates. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a lot. I mean, I'm sure it's just a lot going on. You can only do so much. But, alrighty. You have a good night, Sylvia. Get your
You too.
rest.
Thanks, Dom.
All right, chat. Y'all be easy. I'll catch
Guys.
you on the next one.
Welcome, Alicia. Good night, y'all. Good night. Have a good night, everybody. I gotta go change the title because it's not reading. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the